People have been calling for farmers markets for herb for quite some time now, and that might finally be coming true. Check it out.
New York began allowing cannabis product retail sales this week at special pop-up events to try to help address a surplus many growers are dealing with. CBS 2's Tony Aiello went to New Paltz in Ulster County to check out the Adults Farmers Market.
It had all the trappings of a traditional farmer's market, with tents and tables, curious consumers.
I'm happy to have somewhere where I can meet the people who grow my product and I know what I'm getting.
And knowledgeable farmers.
We've got Killer Queen, Mimosa.
But security checking IDs set this adults-only market apart. Thursday's event was New York's first ever pop-up sale of pot products.
So farmers markets for herb, it sounds absolutely fantastic. And according to this article, the New York governor signs bills to expand the state's farmers market program with pop-up events. Now what's interesting about this is that it's actually a pair of companion bills which were signed into law that builds on the existing farmers market program that allows extended partnerships between licensed businesses and standalone pop-up events. Now some of you viewers may remember back in 2023, New York actually opened its first farmers market of this kind, and this actually generated a lot of buzz. In fact, it was called the First Growers Showcase, and as you guys can see, it was a multi-day event and it brought a lot of people and a lot of attention when it came to this farmers market.
Despite the rain, customers lined up as 4 Hudson Valley farms prepared to make history.
They're ecstatic, excited as well to see this turnout, their product moving.
Jay Peterson is with Legacy Dispensary of Albany, founded by people who suffered under previous prohibitions on cannabis. The state requires a licensed dispensary at pop-ups to handle all sales, stuff to smoke, to eat, to drink. This really represented a boy have times changed kind of moment. The Growers Showcase took place right outside the old Village of New Paltz Court, where many people over the years were sentenced for simple possession.
So having a farmers market of this kind is pretty unique, but it's also really cool. Having a place where people could come together and share their flower and share their love for the plant, I think it's absolutely fantastic. But what's even better is that some of these lawmakers are taking steps to understand and acknowledge that a lot of these home growers and a lot of these commercial growers are sitting on product. They have so much product that they're simply not able to get rid of because of the lack of legal outlets in which they can be sold. So let's have a look at how these farmers markets are actually helping growers like you and me.
New York's Office of Management wants to allow sales of products at farmers markets and festivals. It's a stopgap measure intended to help licensed growers who are struggling to make ends meet. CBS 2's Tony Aiello spent the day at a farm in Ulster County.
To plant or not to plant? That's the multi-million-dollar question for 200 New York farmers.
There are farmers that hold licenses that are questioning whether they can or cannot because they didn't sell last year's crop.
On the banks of the Hudson in Ulster County, at a farm established 105 years ago.
We have finished product that's ready for distribution.
Much of last year's is in storage. Farmers worry it will eventually be too old to sell. While in the greenhouse, seedlings will be ready for planting in July. A financial risk when they haven't sold what they've already produced.
Everyone is anxious. Why you wouldn't be anxious planting something and the market capacity is not there on a huge scale so you can capitalize?
So New York has found themselves in a situation where they have more suppliers of the herb than they do actual places to sell the herb, and that's a real problem. Now let's have a look at what some of these farmers have to say and exactly why the legal system is causing so much pain for them.
The last several meetings of New York's regulatory board have featured cultivators calling for help.
Farmers are facing bankruptcy.
We've come to the point where we are all considering that this is an emergency.
Without a widespread legal retail market, there are only 12 stores statewide right now. The cannabis they grew last year has been an unreturned investment.
So it really came about because of the fact that the retail landscape has not been nearly as robust as it was really set out to be.
Brittany Carbone and the Cannabis Association of New York, or CANNY, have been advocating for a new place to sell. And during one of their recent meetings, the policy director for the Office of Cannabis Management shared
what we're calling the New York Cannabis Growers Showcase.
Or in other words, a farmer's market. It's where cultivators and licensed retailers could partner up and sell product while more folks like Aaron Van Camp can get open.
OCM says they want to roll out within a month, so even we should be here, but for people, the other retailers, it'll help them get some cash flow going, and it's going to put money in the farmers' pockets who really need it.
Van Camp is finishing his build-out of what could be the first legally licensed dispensary in Western New York, to open at 501 Main Street in Buffalo.
It's looking very close. We've got a small build-out coming with a counter and some cabinets getting put in the location here.
So y'all, imagine this. A place like New York, which has a population of 8.25 million people. That's more than Los Angeles at 3.8 and Chicago at 2.6. As of the end of 2023, there are only 12 opened and licensed stores. How does that work out? So clearly you guys can see how easy it is for growers in that situation to end up with so much product that they're not able to sell any of it simply because there's no legal outlet for them to do so. And personally, I think that that's why some of these bills which are being signed into law to expand the farmers market programs are really important. Give those people a way to get their products out to people, but also get some money back for their hard work. Now, sometimes you gotta ask yourself, what caused this situation to pop up in the first place? And it seems that here in New York, because of the overregulation and the difficulty that people face to get licenses, that's what's caused this problem to arise.
The new rules are a bid to help farmers stuck with a surplus of unsold.
Because we're desperate. We're paying taxes at the yin-yang on our farmland.
A plea for help moving unsold. Last month, CBS 2 took you to Hepworth Farms in Ulster County, one of more than 100 New York farms sitting on tons of unsold product because so few retailers have opened under the complicated New York licensing system.
So because of New York's super complicated licensing system, only 12 people have been able to open up businesses, despite the fact that we've got over 100 growers who need their product to be sold at these businesses. Now, thankfully, we have some good news, but before we get into that, just a quick reminder, guys, if you're getting value from this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support us further, join the ICANN VIP Bean Club or cop some merch from the merch store. Now, we do have some good news, so check this clip out.
Wednesday, growers got good news. Meeting in Harlem, the State Control Board approved the so-called Grower Showcase Initiative, allowing farmers to partner with licensed retailers to sell at events including farmers markets.
These may include festivals and fairs, as long as, one, they have received approval from the municipality where this is intended to take place, two, that these are not occurring in places where it can be reasonably expected that the primary audience is going to be underage.
At least for Long Island, we were thinking more like, like this wineries, places like that are available. There is, people in locations that are willing to work with us that we reached out to.
The board will release applications this week, and the first events are expected to be held in August. In other action, officials approved another 200 license applications. The 20 retail stores open in New York could be joined by dozens more before the end of the year. The board also extended for 120 days emergency regulations, allowing officials to crack down on illegal shops opening up all across the city. Investigators seized $11 million worth of product from the first 25 stores targeted, weeding out the illegal competition seen as key to helping licensed retailers thrive.
A lot of that is great, but what some of you may not know is that under the initial rules back in 2023, under those rules, the farmers markets would have only taken place up until January the 1st, 2024, as the state worked to get more traditional retailers open. So despite the fact that back in 2023, those farmers markets were only set to last for 1 year, the governor signed legislation to revive the program after it was stopped earlier that year. Now, under these new proposals, which were signed by the New York governor, these newly enacted measures will expand the law. For example, they will amend the statute by making it so licensed retailers would need to partner with a minimum of 1 cultivator and 1 processor for the showcase events, whereas previously the law indicated that they were only limited to 1 partnership for each of those licensing categories. Now, according to that, New York has seen an uptick in licensing approvals, which is a good thing, but I think that has been coinciding with the crackdowns in the illegal shops. But let's have a look at this to see how people feel about it all.
The pop-ups are intended to help New York farmers who grew massive amounts of and now are sitting on a surplus.
The state, with their best intentions, has been very slow at issuing a license. So you have 290 growers, you have 21 dispensaries.
When farmers planted last year, the state indicated there would be up to 70 open by now.
It's twofold, right? I think the state also realized how much money they were missing out on this slow rollout in sales.
With a 13% tax rate, the state is counting on legal to bring in more than $1 billion before 2028.
It's money in weed, so wherever the money goes, you must follow.
These markets expected to pop up all across New York in the months ahead.
So as we move forward, we can definitely see a lot more farmers markets popping up, hopefully not just in New York, but across America. Personally, I think it'll be really beautiful to see some of these amazing flowers and hard work of people showcased at these farmers markets. Heck, I might even head out to a farmers market myself. But all that said, let me know what you guys think about that. Do you guys think that that's a good move? Do you guys think that more states should adopt a similar type of program? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, while New York is taking some great steps in terms of the farmers markets, Texas is taking 5 steps backwards as they want to ban all products derived from hemp and cannabis. So have a look at that, because that video is coming up right now.